The Conjuring 3, or The Conjuring The Devil Made Me Do It, is set after the events of the first two Conjuring movies and is the 8th installment to what they're now calling the Conjuring Cinematic Universe. Which is pretty crazy how that one supernatural horror movie from 2013 has developed into its own universe, but whatever. I think dragging the same supernatural bullshit on through multiple sequels and prequels kind of makes the events in those films kind of predictable and takes away from the mystery surrounding those seemingly unexplained and spooky events. But that's just my opinion. I mean, it's the second highest grossing horror franchise for a reason, so who am I to judge? So the movie's directed by Michael Chaves, who also directed this underwhelming installment of the franchise, but let's not get into that, let's talk about the film in question, The Conjuring 3. So The Conjuring 3 is set 4 years after the events of the second film and is based on the real-life case of Arnie Cheyenne Johnson, who denied being responsible for first-degree manslaughter due to being possessed by the devil. The movie begins with the Warrens documenting the exorcism of an 8-year-old boy called David. During the exorcism, Arnie, the boyfriend of David's sister Debbie, invites the demon to possess him instead, thus saving the priest a job, but creating a much bigger issue for himself. I have to say, this opening scene is one of the best parts of the film. The visual effects used to create the abnormal twisting and turning of the body, accompanied by the demonic noises coming from the kid, is certainly unsettling and is done in a very effective and tense way. The next few scenes involve Arnie and David's sister Debbie as we begin to see the demon slowly begin to possess Arnie, leading to the murder of his landlord and his arrest. After this, however, the movie tends to get caught up in a way too much convoluted bullshit regarding satanic symbolism and rituals, rather than sticking to the main focus of the movie, the murder trial, which is probably more interesting than anything else in the film. I just wish they made this the main focus. After all, the title is The Devil Made Me Do It, and I was just expecting them to really delve into this particular case and elaborate on the true events in their own way. One thing I did like about the film is John Noble's performance as Father Kastner, who is this old retired priest who helps the Warrens with a lot of the information regarding satanic symbolism and the disciples of the Ram cult. He's definitely the most intriguing character in the film in my opinion, and his performance is very captivating, and yeah, he's definitely one of the best performances in the movie. Don't get me wrong, the whole occult thing fascinates me, and I'm particularly fond of the way this movie steers away from the haunted house scenario the Conjuring films have been known for. It adds a bit of variety to the franchise, which is definitely a fresh new idea, and it definitely worked. I just feel like they don't really know what to do with the character of Arnie, and they needed to add some supernatural elements to satisfy the audience. Most of the scenes, especially the dramatic climax towards the end, which in all honesty seems kind of rushed and out of place, but in a way still kind of works, just not to the same way the first Conjuring films worked. It's different and leaves behind a lot of the elements which made the first and second films so successful. A lot of the scenes are predictable and a lot of the jump scares are very easy to detect before they occur. Besides this, I really do rate the visuals and the scenery, which in my opinion successfully creates a sinister atmospheric tone, which contrasts well with the rest of the theme. The acting in the film was also nothing to complain about, especially the performances from the likes of John Noble and Vera Farmiga, which in my opinion both actors just stole the show. Of course, James Wan didn't direct this, so you can't really expect the same Wan standard in comparison to the other movies, but yeah, I can still appreciate it for what it is. Overall, I rate The Conjuring 3 a 7 out of 10. It's definitely not the strongest film in the franchise, but I appreciate how it steps out of the box and is still able to deliver in terms of atmosphere. It's just a shame about the convoluted plot. I feel like the trailer really gave the impression that they was going to make the Arnie case a main focus of the film, but unfortunately that only really is for the first part of the film, and then it kind of just sporadically jumps to other things throughout the movie. I feel like the movie gets confused with what it actually wants to focus on throughout, because it's got so many different kind of subplots in a way that kind of tries to all join together. And in my opinion, that's really where the the movie's disadvantages. If they'd have just focused on the murder trial and made that the main theme of the movie, then I feel like the movie wouldn't have received the critical reception that it did. There's definitely areas where they could have just improved, and most of that improvement definitely is within the plot. So yeah, please rate, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos.